Hey mates, I'm Alex.
And I'm Gaston.
Welcome to Power Mates.
This is a place to learn and share about Fabric and Power Platform. If this is your first time here, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this channel with your friends and colleagues.
So, hey Power Mate, welcome back to the channel. Today, we are diving into a game-changing update for Microsoft Fabric, private ADLS Gen2 access made easy with OneLake Shortcut. If you have struggled with securely connecting Fabric to your private Azure Data Lake storage chain too, this update is going to simplify your life on some way. So let's break it down with a step-by-step guide on how to seamlessly connect ADLS Gen2 to OneLake while keeping your data secure. As usual, if you find this content valuable, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and also turn on notifications for the latest Microsoft Fabric. Gaston, my question is, what is the main problem we are trying to solve today?
Yeah, that's right, Alex. Before this overall update, connecting Fabric to an Azure Data Lake Gen 2 in a secure way was a little bit of a headache. You need firewall configurations, then private endpoints or complex kind of networking setups. This made things a little bit more easier for organization focus on zero trust security models. But now with Microsoft Fabric, this offering is around private ADLS accessing via OneLake Shortcut. So that makes a lot of easier and more secure than ever. So let's walk through how to set up this step-by-step process. You know what I like to do. Let's head over to my machine and go step by step. So let's start the process with our homepage out of Fabric. So Fabric, remember, enables secure access to firewall, enable or private endpoints via Azure Lake Gen 2 accounts. Fabric Workspace with a workspace identity can securely access your ADLS Gen 2, whether you have public network access enabled from select virtual networks and IP address or public access to disabled. So you can restrict ADLS Gen 2 access to specific Fabric workspace. It's important to note that this setup only grants network visibility from the specified Fabric workspace to ADLS Gen 2. So let's start the overall process to understand what we are going to be doing step by step on this one. First of all, remember that if you don't have a Fabric capacity, you can enable a trial version of your Fabric capacity. Then you need to have a workspace. In my case, I create this trusted workspace, but remember that is easy. Go into workspace and then create a new workspace. And from the new workspace, you can create a new workspace here like demo, ADLS trusted, and when you create that workspace, of course, you need to assign if you're going to go with a Fabric capacity or a trial capacity. You can choose from there. But one of the things that I would love to share with all of you is when you create that workspace, in my case, I'm creating everything from scratch. But when you create that one, you can go to workspace settings, and the topic that we are covering, trying to cover today, is going here in workspace identity and set up a workspace identity for your workspace. That allows you to create kind of a service principal account that is going to be connecting directly with your workspace trust here. So you can see that Gaston has access as edit members, and then I am creating a new workspace identity with an ID. And if you see that the name is not coming right away, just a quick note here, you can refresh this page. And when you refresh this page and going back to workspace settings and the workspace identity, you are going to see now the name of the workspace that you're creating, that workspace identity. After this, I'm going to set up a new lakehouse. Remember that when you want to create a new workspace lakehouse, you go to your workspace, go here to the new item, and from here you can set up your new lakehouse and you can say, hey, this is my demo, trusted lakehouse. That's the second step on this process. Then after I create this one, I can upload a file directly, a CSV or whatever, but remember that we are trying to get a shortcut to an ADLS account. So the next step in this process is going to our Azure portal here. Remember that this is our Azure portal in this portal.azure.com. You can go to the new one and say, hey, I want to create a new storage account here. And just to be conscious about this, I am following this
Okay.
blog that we have. This is the blog that we have from the product team with all around this topic. So I'm going to add this blog article in the description of our video. So I'm following the rules of, we already create a workspace, we create the workspace identity, we create the ADLS account. So in this case, when you create your storage account, and you can create one from scratch, of course, you can name that one storage account trusted, and you can set up, let's use only lower. And the region, of course, try to emulate the same region that you're leveraging in your Fabric tenant. In my case, is West US. You can select the primary service as well if you're doing an ADLS account. In my case, I'm going to do with a local
Mhm.
resource. And then you can go next and define some of the settings here. Remember that one of the settings that you need to enable is a hierarchical namespace connection. And then in this case, I'm going to go in the networking and I'm going to enable public access at the beginning, and end of this one I'm going to just provide next, and then I'm going to just create my storage account. And then in my storage account, what I'm going to be doing just for testing on this one, after the creation of this one, I'm going to provide, and because I don't want to delay a little bit our demo here, I already have my storage account here, and in the networking you can see that I disable the access for public network access. So once I am doing this disable, what it means that nobody on a public environment can access this storage account. So if I upload something here, nobody can get access to that file. So the next step for all of us in this process is going to be, and we are going to be trying to update the network settings so we can disable the access but only give access to our workspace identity. How I can do that? Couple of things that we need to do here. First of all, we need to go to the access control and we need to add a new role assignment. In the Arduino assignment, we are going to go with the blob storage reader, data reader, and then in the members pane, we need to add our service principal, and that is the name of our workspace. So if you see here, once I add the name demo, I can see the name of our workspace identity that we just create in our Fabric tenant. So we
Nice.
are adding that and define, hey, this is the service principal that I would love to trust to access my storage account. Besides that, the other thing that we need to do is in our storage account, we need to add some network rule here to give access from our workspace identity from Fabric to access this storage account. How I can do that? I need to deploy a custom template from a JSON file. You can find that in the article here. In the article from the Fabric team, they provide us all the details on how to create that ARM template, and that is a JSON file. And you can check here that we have this JSON ARM template. Remember that this is just a template. That means that you need to add your name of a storage account, you need to add the ID of your subscription, you need to add the location of the storage account, and you need to add your tenant ID. Everything that you can grab directly from your Fabric tenant as well from the Azure portal. Once you have all this data and you edit this template, in my case, I already have that template up and running from my end. You go to your Azure portal, you set up the custom deployment, you build your own custom template here, you paste the JSON file. Once you paste that JSON file, you save that, and then you run this command against your Azure portal and storage account. What is build this custom deployment template doing? This is adding a resource in your storage account, and that change in the networking is just a
Mhm.
matter of I'm going to the storage account again, going to the networking. Seems that everything is disabled for all the public networks, but if I click in this space of enabling from select virtual networks and IP address, the overall template add me this rule over here. And this rule is exactly what I need. Is
The
this
magic.
rule is adding from the Fabric workspace with this identity here, is giving access to this ADLS account. So that means that no one is going to access or give access to the storage account. Only that workspace via the workspace identity is going to be accessing this resource in my Azure portal. In my case, I already upload a file that I can go to the storage browser. I can check in the storage browser, go to the blob container, and I can see that I have a folder and I already have a file here. Of course, this request is not authorized because I am not accessing via my Fabric workspace.
Mhm.
I am trying to access with my Entra ID. So that is why this is saying, hey, you don't have access to this file. But if I go back to my Fabric workspace and let's open my workspace here. If I go to my workspace, you're going to see that in my Trust workspace, I have my Lakehouse. If I open my Lakehouse, I already have my shortcut, and this shortcut is accessing all my data in that storage account. Of
Nice.
course, if you need to enable again and coming up with a recap of how you create Gaston this shortcut, I am just doing get data, new shortcut, go to ADLS. In my case, I already have the connection up and running, but I'm going to click in the edit option and you can see that I'm using the URL from the Azure portal. Of course, I can go to the Azure portal, go to overview, and I can check the access to the file itself. Remember that you can go to the data lake storage, and from here you can go to properties, and from the properties you can access to the storage account. But again, going back, I am doing this connection. I put the connection name, and you can see that the authentication kind is workspace identity. That is the service principal that I sign in my workspace within Fabric. So now I can access this folder and I can access all the CSV file without any restriction. So overall, PowerMates, why is this a big deal? First of all, security first. No public exposure to all the files and aligning with the zero trust principles. Second, simplify the management, no complex file rules or network hassles, and faster performance. Private networks connections mean faster and more reliable access to your data.
That's awesome, Gaston. It's like, on some point it sounds like magic, but this update makes integrating ADLS Gen 2 with Fabric a breeze while keeping security tight. So are you excited to try it, PowerMate? Let us know in the comment. And remember, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay updated with all things on Microsoft Fabric and Power Platform. And as always, let us know in the comments again what's your go to tagging strategy. So we love to hear your thoughts.
So, see you soon, Power Mates, and remember that together, let's unlock the full potential of Power Platform and Microsoft Fabric.
Yeah.